It helped me a lot to work at Nando's. It's not a best experience ever. As I started at Nando's, I was very young. I was 17, underage, pregnant, drop out that time. I'm not talking about so long, and that was 2011.
But I'm assuming you were forced into that position to be working because of circumstances, or maybe speak to the reason that you dropped out of school and decided to go work.
It's because of my situation. It was not nice. I never been comfortable to be comfortable. I grew up with my sisters. I grew up with 3 sisters. We stay in one room. Sometimes in the bathroom, you have to go out and give them space. So and I have to take care of them. So I reached to the point now I need to take care of myself. I need to grow up. I need to man up before time. So it's where I started to look for a job. I remember I reached to the space where my pastor talked with me and said, "No, Thembokuhle, because I know your situation. You need to come to stay with us here because we have a mission house." So I moved to mission house. I stayed at mission house. From there, I started looking for a job. I got a job 2011 at Nando's.
Okay, so now you find yourself working at Nando's. You're young. How did you start understanding how to manage now money and finances?
To be an entrepreneur, I started in a very young age. I used to know that I would become a very great entrepreneur one day, because at school I was selling like sweets. To maintain those small business helped me a lot. High school, I used to sell Facebook. I used to sell eggs on my extra time. That time, I was training myself to be that great person, because when I grow up, I used to have that small voice that tell me that you can become better person. I know that the big voice used to tell me you cannot. When you just come at Ngolezana, you cannot be that person. But the small voice, I will always listen to it. So now when I'm at Nando's, I was lucky enough to meet one of my mentor. That guy was living exactly the lifestyle that I want. So when the time I was working at Nando's, they used to call me Avuyo, because I always tell them that, guys, I want to do this.
There is a big dreamer.
Yeah, you remember that time as Avuyo, you are a big dreamer. Because I was earning very less, but I tell them that, no, guys, now I'm happy, I'm working at Nando's, I will start to buy my first property. And I know that I cannot do it because I'm earning very less, but I always think to the big picture. Yeah.
So then, what was the next step in your life? You working at Nando's, what was that thing that changed and shifted you to that next gear in your life?
It's a mindset, and what helped me a lot is to get a mentor, get the guy that I want to look to, which was cash flow. Even that time when I approached him, I didn't have like funds to assist me. Actually, you're talking about Forex. Forex was just a vehicle for me to start my business. Forex is like a vehicle for me to find all the business that I have right now.
Yes. Yeah. So wait, you get into, Forex. To some people, you have people who are like, it's a scam. I regularly have people saying, put in this money, you'll get this much back. I mean, explain to us what your experience with Forex has been.
As I say at the beginning, sometimes you need to convince a lot of people. That's why most of the time I don't like to talk with Forex, But what I can tell people, Forex is real, but people, they make it not real, because now you socialize with people maybe on Facebook. You meet people on Facebook. You trust them with the money, and they escape with your money.
So obviously, there's people that are doing scams out there. But what I want to understand from you is, give me the actual numbers. Explain to me, in this year, I started with this amount of money, this is what I went through, and this is what came back. So we can really grasp this picture of how you got to where you are now.
I'm scared to talk about this year, because people, they would think that, okay, Forex maybe is for rich people. But I started Forex very small, around 2013. I started Forex with $500. I grew that amount. Remember when
So how did you even get to $500? Because now you're working at Nando's. Where did that money come from?
No, at Nando's I was working at like 2011.
Yes.
2012 I quit at Nando's.
Yes.
I started to work for another truck company,
Mm-hmm.
closing truck Tarpaulin. From there I started to work with my mentor, where I get commission. And then $500 is like 7,000, so you can maintain to save up that money.
So you manage to save up. You get this $500, and that's what you start with. So what do you do with that money to grow it?
I invest it. I trade it. Even though that was in my head that I cannot double it. That means I cannot make it to $1,000 because end of the day it's $. That is the big challenge that we have. That is a very big challenge that we have. Forex traders, people, when they're doing Forex trading, they think that it's triple M. They just want to double their account within a month or within 2 months. It takes time you grow your investment.
So how long did it take for you to grow it, and how much did it grow by?
I grow my $500 to 1,400. And it take me like 3 months to do it. What helped me is to work with my mentor, and then I used to have a lot of commission, and then I found myself to fund my account with a very big amount of money.
Okay, so you have now this $1,400. Do you keep reinvesting it to grow it, or what do you do with that amount?
Because it was very small.
Yes.
The time I start.
Yes.
So I reinvested close to 40,000.
Yes.
And then from there I trade my account to 200,000. That was the beginning of my journey.
Okay. So when do you reach the point where you're like, I'm a millionaire?
It's where I stepped down at GSE because lucky enough my mentor I attended at GSE, Trading Government Pension Fund. From there we are very few people, black people working there. So it's where I start to realize, no, you know what, I want to reveal this secret to everyone, because I think we need that skill, because trading is like a skill. There's no one going to take that skill. It's up to you that you want to trade for yourself, you want to trade for the banks, you want to trade for companies. So when I stepped down as GSE, I started my company training people for Forex trading.
Okay, so people that want to get into that space, what advice do you have for them?
They must be patient with themselves, right? Don't think that you can just fund your account with $500 and then you want to make million. Because I meet a lot of people say, I want to be a millionaire. Remember, for me to be a millionaire is not just because of trading only. I have different companies. I have a transportation company. I have properties. But as I said from the beginning, I take Forex money and use it as a vehicle for me to reach to the revenue.
I understand. So now you have got multiple businesses. Is your advice then that people need to learn to diversify, to do a bit more, that maybe doing one thing might not make you a millionaire?
I can advise people, especially South African people, guys, we have to start to operate to the spiritual level. When you become an entrepreneur, that you will build something very small and you grow very big. Like Uber, if you look, Uber, it started very small, but now look how big it is. Because they're operating in entrepreneur spiritual level. Okay,
talk to me about your book.
Last Man Standing. We are talking about the entrepreneurship, where I'm coming from. You understand? I've been through a lot. I understand that there's a lot of people that they relate to my story. So that's why I take a pen and write my book. But it's all about entrepreneurship. And
where can we get the book?
For now, it's not out. So people, they can just order it direct to me. They can go to my website, which is www.titanforexacademy.com.
Just repeat that again.
www.titanforexacademy.com.
Fantastic. And then people can also follow you on Instagram. Thembokuhle Shongwe is your Instagram handle. And you're going to be launching the book on the 26th of May at Da Vinci Hotel in Sandton at 12 o'clock midday. Of course, we do wish you the best of luck, and I hope that those who have been listening have been inspired by your story and can grow themselves to a point where they reach their own level of success. Thank you so much for joining us in studio this morning.
You're welcome, my sister.
This is fraught with issues.
Thank you. You're not supposed to get nervous.
I still like not doing interview.
Eh?
Still like not doing interview.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? But I mean, if you're going to be launching a book, you're going to have to get comfortable with talking.
Thank you very much for this because tomorrow I have one now. Is very
Were you doing an interview?
Contractzone.co.za, a Metrofile Group company.
Every morning on Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa, you could be rewarded for listening to 702 and the Lotto Star Voices of 702. You could win 2,000 Rand just by identifying one familiar voice of 702. If the voice isn't identified, the cash will roll over to the next morning until one lucky listener takes it all. And if you've placed a bet on Lotto Star in the last 30 days, your winnings will be doubled. For your chance to play and win in the Lotto Star Voices of 702, listen to Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa all week. Lotto Star, how lucky can you get? More on 702.co.za.
With incentives from government to create
You have to get comfortable with talking.
can now help your business.
You really have to get...
I'm waking on it.